Number 5. When Rory MacDonald was offered as an opponent to Stephen Thompson was quite hesitant in accepting the fight, as he had trained with Rory MacDonald at TriStar and had developed a close friendship. He had mentioned that he tried to avoid fighting Rory MacDonald as he felt like he was fighting a brother. Eventually both fighters agreed to fight and were booked to headline UFC Fight Night 89. In the fight, Stephen Thompson used his distance to strike as Rory MacDonald came to engage. After the 5 rounds, the unanimous decision victory was given to Stephen Thompson. Number 4. Both Frank Mir and Roy Nelson were scheduled to face each other at UFC 130. Both fighters knew each other very well as they were both from Las Vegas and frequently trained together. Frank Mir refrained from making comments about Roy Nelson as he didn't want it to affect his friendship. Both fighters had previously competed in a grappling match years ago where Roy Nelson got the victory. At UFC 130, Frank Mir dominated the stand-up and the grappling to win the fight by a unanimous decision. Number 3. Michael Bisping was set to headline UFC Fight Night 30 against Mark Munoz in a 3-round middleweight bout. Leading up to the event, Michael Bisping was forced to pull out the fight due to an eye injury and was replaced with Lyoto Machida, who was making his debut at middleweight. Both fighters were good friends and had trained at the Black House Gym in the past. Lyoto Machida had mentioned that it was very weird to face his good friend Mark Munoz, but it was part of the job. In the fight, Lyoto Machida displayed great movement where he perfectly landed a head kick, knocking Mark Munoz out in the first round. Number 2. When Joe Silva offered Travis Browne as an opponent to Andrei Arlovski for UFC 187, he wasn't enthusiastic about the matchup as both Travis Browne and Andrei Arlovski developed a great friendship whilst training at Jackson Wink in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Andrei Arlovski stayed at Travis Browne's home, met his family, and both pushed each other to the limit in the gym. Both fighters accepted the fight, saying it wouldn't affect their friendship. In the fight, Andrei Arlovski repeatedly rocked Travis Browne with brutal punches. Travis Browne briefly came back, knocking Andrei Arlovski to his knees. Andrei Arlovski made a comeback, punished Travis Browne against the cage, finishing him by TKO in the first round. Number 1. When Joe Silva offered Antonio Silva as an opponent to Roy Nelson for UFC Fight Night 95, he said it sucked facing Antonio Silva as he was one of his good friends, but admitted that both fighters had the job to do. Their friendship started when Antonio Silva helped Roy Nelson for his fight against Alistair Overeem at UFC 185. Since that time, their friendship remained strong and they didn't have any problems facing each other. In the fight, it only took one clean punch from Roy Nelson to knock Antonio Silva down, and he rained down punches to get the KO victory. After the fight, out of frustration with what he thought was a late stoppage, Roy Nelson push-kicked referee John McCarthy. He was later suspended and was given a fine.